So there are no prizes for guessing what today's video is about. I'm going to be looking at lined journals and if there's still room for them in this modern world. Obviously there are hundreds, thousands of lined notebooks on Amazon. Not all of them have been made by we independent publishers, but a lot of them have. It's the first thing you learn how to make, and it gives you a good grounding in creating books, the layout of them, how to set your documents up, and the general upload process. But is there still a place for them in today's fast-growing, independently published, low-content book market? And the answer is yes, with caveats. I've done some research, and I'm going to share that with you now. I've just used Amazon. I didn't use any external keyword information. And there are some places where lined journals are not oversaturated, and there are books there making sales, and you could have a slice of that pie if you target your books correctly. Now, as you can see there are caveats, and I'll go into the caveats later in the video. But this is it, a quick video showing you where lined journals and notepads can make you some money in KDP. So the aim of the video is to see if there are any more niches that can be exploited with notepads. Notepads are the first thing people make when they come into KDP because it's the easiest. So you'd imagine there are loads up there. Some people say it's saturated, and to be honest, I never make lined journals anymore. I've got lined notebooks. I've got a couple, but not many. And the ones that I've got don't sell very well. That's probably more my fault than anything else. But we're in Amazon. I'm going to type in notepad, and then we're going to use extensions and things like that to see if there are any niche opportunities available. Because it's always a good idea to check these things out. So first thing, I'm in incognito mode. Notepad. Now my extension should be kicking in, but it's not. So I'll run the first search, and then fingers crossed the expansion will start from the next one. So just for general Notepad 4, there are 30,000 results, more than 30,000 results. I'm expecting this Titans Quick View niche score, well, it's a bit higher than I thought, to be honest. And weirdly, only 2 of the front page have Notepad 4 in their title. And the average price is pretty high. But Notepad 4, we're not going to touch that with a barge pole. We're just using it. There you go. So this is me, Amazon, I forgot what it's called. It's one of my extensions. Amazon Search Expander, something like that. And this is what it's coming up with. So we have Notepad 4, and now generally what people say is do the alphabet method. So Notepad 4A. All weather notepad, no tearaway notepad, no Amazon Basics, no aesthetic notepad. What is that? So there are 1,000 results. I don't know what an aesthetic notepad is. I doubt it's a brand. A niche score of 90, which of course is very, very high, but I don't know what an aesthetic notepad is, and I don't have any way of knowing what the search results are, although I might run this free trial just to see how many people are searching for aesthetic notepads. So from Titans Deep View, you get 5 trials. Let's see what it says. So this is fuzzed out. Does that mean there's no data there? Or what? These are the words used in product titles. I'll scroll slowly so you can have a look. These are all good keywords for this niche. So get your pen and paper ready. You'll have to pause it every now and then because although I am scrolling slowly, it is hurting my little eyes trying to read this. So I'll go back and have another look. And these are all low scoring ones, so slow. So this is a list of words that's used in the titles of... Is this everything from the front page? I think so. Perfect. There you go. I'm no further forward in knowing what an aesthetic notepad is, but something that looks beautiful. I, of course, know what the word aesthetic means. I can't imagine many people searching for that, to be honest. So a niche score of 90, but useless to us, I think. Notepad 4B, we've got Bible study, binder, boys, Bible note, budget, back pocket, badge, Bible, Bible case, boss. A lot of Bibles, so let's go for Notepad for Bible study. So they're saying there are over 4,000 results. 73, a high niche score, and I imagine Notepad for Bible study is pretty a more common search term. So that's not a bad option. It's not technically a lined journal, but it is a notepad. I would probably call it a prompt journal more than anything. And I think that's what we'll find. I don't think we'll find many plain lined notepads in this section. They should all probably be prompt journals. A lot of them are spiral. Let's just have another look up here. One of them is independently published. I am not going to find it. Tell us if you see it. Could be this one. Let's have a look. So we can read a sample. It's got 3 ratings. 2511. We'll just have a look at it. So these are old measurements. And there's the interior of the journal. Plain line journal. Bible studies aimed. Bible length, say, oh, imagine that. Very poor BSR. So perhaps there's a market there for a plain line journal. But I think you'd have to go down the prompt journal route to gain any traction. A niche score of 73, not bad. And again, we go on Notepad for car. Now, this could be interesting. I can imagine one of the smaller sized books, less than 6x9, whatever that is, being put in there for car details. You could have a little mileage area, maybe a little trip planner. And the idea is it's something that you would put in your car and leave there, and a list, perhaps a list of emergency numbers in there. Again, we're going a little bit beyond a lined journal, but that's what people use them for, to take insurance details from people. If you have an accident, to make notes when you're on your trip of important things. Now, if we look up here, none of them are independently published. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because the niche score is 93. And if we look down, most of these journals are with pens and little wallets and things like that. So that's an option. A small book, lined. You could have a couple of pages in the back for things like mileage or emergency contact details, or in the front even. That'd be perfectly fine. Marketed at car drivers or vehicle drivers. Now, there's no exact match in here, but because it popped up in the Amazon and in this, it was in the white area. That's the normal Amazon suggested terms. So it implies that people are searching for it. So that's not a bad option. I've got Notepad there. I can't remember if I started off with Notepad or Notebook. The two terms are, I suppose, interchangeable for our needs. Let's change it to Notebook and see if that changes. Instantly there are more results. We'll have a scroll through while waiting for that to load. Mileage and expense book at spiral bound, but that, we can't do that, but that doesn't matter. We can still do a similar book. Maintenance logbook. Auto log, so we're coming up with logbooks at the minute. 54. So Notepad for car, 90 odd, less results, and there were more lined journals in there. Lined notepads. Anyway, so the point of this research method, first of all, it's a bit of fun to see if notebooks and notepads are oversaturated. And secondly, it's a good idea to do this when you're searching for any sort of niche. Journal 4, Notepad 4, and then just go through the alphabet. It's quite monotonous, but it's a good way to find niches. So this one, Notebook for Daily Notes, 80,000. This has got to be very, very low. 40, so not as low as I thought. We'll try one more of these alphabet methods, and then I'll just mess about off screen, and I'll see if I find anything interesting for you. Notepad for E, come on, play the game. Elderly I saw there. Notebook for elderly, notebook for emergencies, notebook for envelopes, notebook for Easter eggs. So there are some good options here. I don't know what an elderly notebook or a notebook for the elderly would contain, but I imagine that's a sort of, yeah, it's just one of them funny ones. I imagine elderly is just one of them generic, in inverted commas, audiences that people go for. So logbooks, I imagine that's just a line journal. It doesn't imply it's a logbook. There are a lot of them. Well, there's not a lot of them. There's 1,000 of them. 3 have an exact match. Niche score of 58, so not too bad. Average price, $8.40. And there are books with 0 reviews on the first page. And a low seller rank of 62. Goodness me. So we'll have a look at this one, just because I think this one might just be a normal line journal. It's a 6x9, multi-purpose, 100-page 6x9 journal. Estimated revenue, $1,316 every month. Yep, the classic line journal, which is just probably from Tangent Templates or Book Bolt, they're all the same, with the lined journal area and this bit here for the date or the title. So this isn't a bad niche. It's getting sales, relatively low competition, and there's space for you and your line journal. 27 of the first 48 are independently published. And that thing about the reviews there. So there are certainly things you can do with the elderly, if you pardon the expression. Notebook for, I'll look for one more, because that has piqued my interest. We'll try engineers. What would be in a engineer's notebook? There's 6,000 results. Again, we'll just have a quick stroll through. National Brand Computation Notebook. All these pop-ups, man, they're getting right on my wick. Got to battle through all the pop-ups to try and click the link. Yeah, so this is a 4x4 quad graph paper, basically. It's obviously not independently published. Well, it's not KDP. But it's something you could do easy. There were 6,000 results, though, so let's have a look. And see what the niche score is. 86. So these niche scores aren't bad. Ignore aesthetic notebook. Elderly for the car, for engineers. They're a good place to start. Obviously, you can niche down from there. Instead of engineers, you could have medical engineers, mechanical engineers, or architectural engineers, whatever. Right, I'm going to have a look through the rest of the alphabet and some other suggestions and just see if I can find something interesting to show you. So I'll be back in a bit. So I have found a couple of interesting things. This one here is a notebook for groceries. Now, there are no exact matches. There are 6 independently published. Niche score 74. There's some books on here with 0 reviews. Average score, nearly a tenner. And if we scroll through, there's a grocery shop in this book there. I'm frightened to hover over everything because that big thing from Titans pops up. I'll have to switch it off somehow. Another grocery list book there. Shoot right over. We'll have a look at this one. So 110 pages. It's getting estimated 6 sales a month. And it is just lined journals with little check boxes on. So that's a nice simple one. It exists, it's making sales. So that's not bad, and it's pretty close to a pure lined journal. The other thing I found was a weekly to-do list. A weekly to-do list notepad. And again, this is a bit more advanced than a normal lined journal. But at its heart, it is just lines. Niche score of 93. No independently published books. A decent average price. And 5 reviews. A low of 5 reviews. So that's all in our favour. What isn't in our favour? Obviously 0 independent published. You know, there are 22 out of 48 exact matches as well, so that's good. People are searching for this sort of thing. The majority of these are going to be tear-offs or spirals. So, like, you know, the tear-off sheets without the glue binding. Be those or spirals. There probably aren't going to be many classic published books. That's not a problem. It doesn't matter really. It doesn't matter really. This book here looks to be very, very simple. I'm just going to see what this... Now, it's not independently published, and it probably is tear-off, but look how simple that is. Lined journal with to-do list written on the top. It's 50 sheets, and it's selling for $12. So you could make something like that. Obviously, it would be differently bound, but that doesn't matter. You could also make things like the more advanced weekly to-do list you can see there and have it in a book. People do make them, and they use to-do lists inside the other sorts of journals. I put to-do lists in the planners I make. So you can make a full book out of them, sell them, or learn how to make them, put them in your planners. It's as simple as that. So that's about the highest niche score I've ever seen. with some caveats and tweaks, it looks to be a good option to try and get yourself into if you just want to stick to making simple lined, low/no content books. Because that's where this all started, lined journals. And that's going to be the end of the video. I just want to see if there was still scope in this day and age for lined journals, or if it was completely saturated. And we found some good things, and also, of course, I demonstrated the alphabet technique, which, it's worth a watch. It's worth a like and a subscribe. But we found some decent lined journal options. A notebook for the car was pretty good and useful. That's the important thing, make it useful. For the elderly, they were more around the jokey options, having a funny cover. But they were still selling well. That one that we saw was crazy. Engineers came up well. That's not lined technically, that's more for graph paper. But it's still perfectly doable. So yep, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something, even if it is just there is still a space for lined journals. And I shall see you next time.